How do you deal with long shipping times from China? How to market your store using social media? What do you do in order to minimize the possibility to get banned? Is it possible to start with $20? Dropshipping, an amazing business model that you can literally run from your bedroom. And if done right, you can make amazing profit every day like I did here. In this video, I will answer the most common questions people have about this business. Hey everyone, I'm Eddie and I haven't had a job in years. I've become financially free selling products online on my Shopify store, generating 6 figures a month every month. Dropshipping is an e-commerce business model where you take a product that's most likely manufactured in China, you put it on your website such as on a Shopify store, and then you bring traffic to it. You can use different advertising channels such as Facebook ads in order to bring customers to your website and have them purchase your product. When a person from anywhere in the world purchases the product on your store, what you do is you ship it straight from the supplier in China to that customer's door. And why is that amazing? Because you don't need to hold any stock. There is minimal risk. If you learn some marketing and some basic business know-how, you can literally become successful with dropshipping from your bedroom. I get a ton of questions every day from people that want to start selling products online, so I took the most common questions and I'm going to answer them in this video so you can understand how you can make money with this business model. Let's start. By the way, all these questions are coming from my e-commerce community, which has more than 2,000 members, and I'm teaching all of them how to run their own Shopify stores. So if you're interested in doing the same thing, make sure to join my Discord. I put a link in the description of this video. The first question says, how do you deal with long shipping times from China? That's a good one. I know that everybody who wants to start dropshipping is wondering how this works. So let me tell you. When you start dropshipping, because you don't get that many orders, what you do is generally place your customers' orders on a website such as AliExpress, and suppliers from AliExpress ship the product straight from their warehouse to your customer. And generally for orders placed like that, shipping times could range from 15 days to 30 days. And that sounds awful, I know. But don't let that deter you. That's what I've done in the beginning, and you're only doing it at first when you test to see which product works. Once you start getting about 5 to 10 orders a day, you can get in touch with dropshipping agents from China. And what they'll do is they'll ship your orders every day themselves with faster shipping lines that could take about 2 weeks. It generally depends on the country that you ship to. Are customers going to be mad for waiting about 2 weeks? No. I've sold tens of thousands of products. People don't mind waiting 2 weeks for them, especially when they want the product, you're transparent with your shipping times, and you have good customer support, which you can do yourself in the beginning. They'll be fine. I have multiple dropshipping stores and I get a few hundred orders a day. Customers don't really complain. It happens very rarely. That means you need to find a good, reliable dropshipping agent, but until you have a product that sells very well for you, you don't even need to worry about that. Alright, next question. What are all the steps to sell in the big 5 countries when you live in Europe? Bank account, use of proxies, LLC, and so on. So the big 5 countries are the United States, Canada, United Kingdom, Australia, and New Zealand. Those are the countries that generally convert the best with Facebook ads. A lot of people get stuck here. They think that if they're from a country like Romania, like me, they won't be able to sell in the United States, and that's not the case. You can sell anywhere in the world. You can ship anywhere in the world. When I started, I did not have a company because I had no idea if dropshipping was going to work for me. So I just sold products as an individual and I had a basic bank account. Once I started seeing some consistent success, that's when I created a company in the United States. That was super simple. You can do that online. You don't need to worry about that. Do you need to use a VPN or proxies when you sell in a different country? Absolutely not. You're fine on your computer as it is. Should we set up a store and a Facebook page all around a niche, or should we have a general store? Actually, I made an entire video about the type of store that you should have when you sell products. It should not be a general store. It should not be a niche store. When you test products, you should have a hybrid store. That means a store with a random name that means nothing, where you can add a product from any niche, advertise it, see if it works. And if it doesn't, you take that product out, you put the next one in, and you test that. The reason why a store like that is good is because you can test products endlessly. You won't have a general store with a ton of products that don't go together. And it also doesn't require that much effort. The moment you find a product that sells consistently, you can put it on a niche store and advertise it along with other products that you can upsell. But until then, use a hybrid store. Should I dropship locally or internationally? I personally would never limit myself to one country. I always advertise to multiple countries that have a lot of buying power. I don't see the reason why you would ever sell in just one country when there are so many customers in the world that you can advertise to consistently. How to market your store using social media? Do you do it yourself or get someone to do it. You can run ads in multiple places such as TikTok, Facebook ads, Google, Snapchat, Pinterest, and so much more. But I personally like to do it on Facebook. I've had my most success on Facebook. I've sold about $400,000 just last month using only Facebook ads. So that's where I recommend people to advertise. And in terms of making your ads, always make them yourself. You don't need to hire someone, especially when you're in the beginning. You want to master that skill. There are a lot of crappy services out there that sell you video ads that won't actually convert, so you'll just waste your time and money. You need to master the skill yourself, and then if you want to, you hire someone that you can vet. What are the best features in a website to boost your conversion rate? So that's a really good question. I could probably talk about that for days on end. Opposed to what a lot of people think, you don't need all kind of apps to improve your conversion rate. You don't need timers, you don't need a lot of trust badges, none of that. All you need to have is a simple website with a very simple color scheme, 1 or 2 colors, and then black and white, good English, clean images, and convincing copywriting. On top of that, you can add social proof on your website, such as a few hundred convincing reviews about your product. That's all you need on a website in order to have a good conversion rate. The key factor is that you don't need to overthink, make things simple and easy for the customer to understand. I'm going to pair these next 2 questions together because they're about the same. They're both asking how much money would you spend on ad sets when you're testing a product, and how much money usually takes until you find a winning product. So this is about how much budget you need to be successful with ads. The answer to that is a little complicated. It really depends on you. If we're being realistic, you'll probably burn through about $500 to $1,000 until you find a product that has some success. And then you'll need more money to continue running ads and to ship the products to your customers. So I know you want me to tell you that you need just $50 to $100 to make this business work, but remember, it is a real business. It does require an investment. When I started about 4 or 5 years ago, I spent thousands and thousands of dollars until I finally found the product that worked for me. I can tell you that that's not the case for you anymore. There's so much information on the internet, such as what you're watching right now. For example, I was never part of a community of people that wanted the same thing as me. Right now, you can join communities of successful people and learn from their experience, so you can speed up the entire learning curve and get there faster. For example, I'm active in my Discord every single day. I answer people's questions in there pretty often, and I even uploaded some PDFs with my strategies. Alright, next question. How do I know a percentage of my total sales is profit? So that's super simple. You look at your total revenue, you take away the cost of goods sold, so that's how much money you spend to ship your product to customers, and then you take away your advertising cost. And what you're generally left with is about 15 to 20%, which is a common realistic profit margin for dropshippers. Sure, there are cases where you can even get to a profit of 30 to 40%. And if you get to the point where you have some experience, you can create multiple stores, all of them bringing you income, which is exactly what I've done. How could one start a clothing brand? Is it viable on Shopify? Any advice finding manufacturers? Or how can one start a store that focuses on selling shirts or gear? That's a really good question. You could do it multiple ways. You could do it by creating your own clothes from a manufacturer in China and owning stock. You can go to a website called Alibaba and find factories that can create the exact clothes that you want. And if you want to dropship clothes but still customize them the way that you like, you can do print on demand. You can go to websites like Printify or Printful, upload your designs on there, and you can create instant mockups of your shirts. You put those on your Shopify store, you advertise them, and when a customer places an order, you dropship it straight from the print on demand website. It's super simple and you can automate this too. Would I recommend that you start with clothing? No, it's a very saturated market and you need a lot of experience. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to have too high profit margins. It's not really worth it for a beginner, but it's definitely something that you can consider down the line. Tips and tricks on how to negotiate with suppliers for the best rates. I like that. That's a good question. I actually wrote a thread on Twitter just recently about negotiating. I'll pull it up right now and teach you 3 important steps that will make you a better negotiator. Number 1, be the first to put a number on it. When you're the first to come up with the price, you're basically anchoring the other person that you're negotiating with to only work around your price. For example, if you want to pay your supplier just $7 for your product, you don't let them give you a price first because they'll say 12 or 13, and then you won't really feel like saying that you want to pay just $7, right? So they'll anchor you closer to what they want. 2, initially ask for a lower price than what you want to get. So if you want to pay just $7 for your product, you're going to ask for 5. That way, based on what I said for number 1, your supplier will probably come back with an $8 or $9, and then you can negotiate down to 7, which is what you actually wanted. Number 3, reassure them from the beginning that you're looking for long-term business. So that's pretty important because they'll feel a little more comfortable to give you the price that you want, knowing that they'll make a lot of money from you in the long term. So these are 3 things that I always use when I negotiate with my suppliers, and believe me, I get the best prices. Is it possible to start with $20? No. How do you think you'll be able to spend $20 on ads, and if somehow the planets align and you get one sale, you'll have money left to even ship it to the customer? Listen, just because you can make money with dropshipping wearing just your underwear and a sweaty shirt, it doesn't mean that it doesn't require your time, your money, and your dedication. And of course, your common sense. What is your opinion on high-ticket dropshipping versus regular dropshipping, and would you advertise them differently? For example, high-ticket Google ads. Let's say for products that sell on average for over $100. So no, I still use Facebook ads. I sold a lot of products for over $100 with Facebook ads. And of course, you can do Google ads as well. The only thing that changes is that you need to spend a little bit more money to acquire customers. That means their cost per purchase will be higher than if you were to sell a product for $20. So you just have to be prepared to spend a little bit more money, but Facebook is perfect for that. Do you set up the pixel by store or niche, or by product? He's of course referring to the Facebook pixel, which collects data from your customers using cookies. And yes, I use just one per store. So I paired two more questions together here about Facebook bans and unbanning assets. Does it work for real? I have a page that's been restricted. And another person also said, what do you do in order to minimize the possibility to get banned? What is your warm-up process? How do you get Facebook to trust you? So yes, on the low, we did have a possibility in my Discord to unban assets. Facebook recently unfortunately updated their system, so we're working on bringing that back. But we do have a lot of solutions in my Discord against bans and best practices to avoid those restrictions. And to answer your question about how to earn Facebook's trust and how to warm up your ad account, you basically do that by acting like a newbie. You set up some ads that are not optimized for purchases, and you spend just a little bit of money optimizing for page likes or post engagement in order to show Facebook they are not a super aggressive advertiser that's in there to possibly scam people. Once you warm up your ad account and page like that for just a few days, you can get into running purchase ads, and those are the ones that are going to bring you the money. So those are all the questions that I'll answer for now. I know that there are quite a few that I skipped. That's because I wanted this video to be short, sweet, and informative. If you want to ask me anything, write your questions in the comments. I get back to every one of you. And if you're actually serious about turning e-commerce into a full-time job and becoming not just financially free but wealthy, I definitely recommend that you join my community on Discord called Mavenport. We actually also have some private premium channels in there for people that are really dedicated and really want to level up their dropshipping game. I actually launched this membership just about 2 weeks ago, and I already have some killers in there that started selling more than $1,000 a day. I'm active there every day answering members' questions. I already dropped multiple PDFs about my Facebook ads strategies, and those are strategies that I use right now to sell more than $10,000 a day. We do weekly live Q&As where I answer people's questions vocally and give them personalized advice. I think it's an absolute no-brainer, so if you want to learn from me, you should join. If this video helped you, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel because I'm going to come back with more juicy e-commerce content.